Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode. It is September 13th, 2020 on a not so lovely Sunday afternoon. Starting the day over. That's the topic for today. Starting the day over. So last night I went to bed. I went to bed too late. Then I did a REM cycle, and that REM cycle lasted till 2, and then I got up to pee, and then I couldn't go back to sleep, so I got up and looked at my phone for a few minutes, which I do not recommend doing. I also pulled out a book, but I don't think I looked at the book. And then I finally said, I am going to force myself back to sleep. So I did. And believe it or not, one of the things that I did was I just said 2 lines of the Ho'oponopono prayer over and over and over again. I love you. I'm sorry. And I did it in English and French. And eventually I fell asleep, but interestingly enough, I woke up at almost 7 o'clock in the morning. And I had my mastermind call at 7:30. So I did not get to do my morning routine. And I was so exhausted afterwards that I still hadn't done my morning routine, and I went back to bed. And I got up a little while ago, and I am doing my morning routine. So the point is, we can start over at any time. I realized that because I was writing in frustration about how the day had unfolded so far. And I just said, Mark, you know what? So what? It's 12:30. Pretend it is 5 a.m. and start over. Make a cup of coffee. Sit down and do your writing. Do your prayer work. Take the ripped pages out to the trash. Now do your video, which is what I'm doing right now. And what's the topic? Starting over. We do it all the time. In life, period. We start over all the time. Something doesn't work out. Okay, we start over. There's a guy that I follow who's written just a lovely book. I hope I can remember to put it up on the screen. His name is Jay Swanson. He's out of Paris. And he talks about the book is a metaphor about success in life. And he talks about trying to set sail a number of times and getting turned around and sent back off the sea, and that's what happens all the time, and including right now. This morning I'm like, oh, I'm still disoriented, don't get me wrong, but this is a wonderful exercise in just getting up, starting over, doing the routine. Because I was writing. I'm frustrated because I didn't do my routine. Well, Mark, do your routine. Do the routine. So what that it's 12:30 in the afternoon? Just do the routine. And then you'll feel better. So that's what I'm doing. And now I'm talking about this. And this is about starting over. Someone told me a long, long time ago that you can start your day over any time. Well, someone probably, we can take this metaphor a little farther and say, you can start your life over at any time. And that's essentially what I have done several times, and I believe If you're listening to me, you probably have too. And you may be, and most possibly are, in the midst of that right now, particularly in this particular time period. Oh my God, everybody on some level is starting life over. It's not playing out the way that they said it would. Not that it was ever supposed to, but it's really not playing out right now the way they said it would. How dare they lie to us? Well, they did. And so start over. That's it. And I have to give a shout out to all of this time that I have spent essentially not taking a lot of action. Because I've known that if I take action, it will really be just a design of what I've done before. And I don't want to do what I did before. But where I'm at now with all of this is that I want to take some action, whether it's the right action or not. It's time to go to that space of let's take action anyways. So maybe there'll be some false starts along the way. I'm finally good with that, because I haven't been good with that before, and I don't know about you, but many times in my life I've not done something because I couldn't do it well enough. But many times I have done something even though I couldn't do it well enough. So I've done it on both sides. I'm not going to stretch this video out too much. I think that I've made my point. My point is start. Just start. And even if that start is not starting. Oh, God. Do we really have to go into the paradoxes? Oh, well, I guess we are. It's really quite individual. And I think that that's very important right now. It's really quite individual. I intuitively knew that I kind of just had to stop and build up slowly, which is what I'm doing. Now I'm wanting to take more action, and I'm willing to take the risk. So, start your day at 12:30 and see what the hell happens. Or start your day at 5. They talk about I'm going off on a tangent, but they talk about Benjamin Franklin, I think, said, the early bird catches the worm. And his routine was he got up at 5, he started work at 8, he took a lunch between 11 and 1. Part of that lunch was doing things that were not like accounting for his own personal stuff and returning phone calls and things like that. So it was a productive lunch. And then from 1 to 5 back to concentration, and then evening meal, and back to bed. And that's a good schedule, and one that I applaud and wish I was better at it. However, It doesn't have to be at 5 o'clock. It can be whatever works for you. If you're someone who's a night owl, then get up at 10 and start at noon or whatever. I used to be a night owl, but I don't remember those days anymore. I much prefer my mornings, which is how I got stimulated on this topic and how irritated I got at myself. But once again, start. Start by being quiet. Start by taking action. Just start. And boy, I'm telling you, I'm saying this more for myself than I am for anybody who may be watching on this channel. Thank you so much for listening. Bonne journée.